family, I thought I could make a quick video sharing my Ancestry.com information, in particular my family tree that I've been working on. I've probably been calling and inboxing and texting different people randomly, probably wondering who I am and what I'm asking all these questions for, because I've really been working on this family tree. Um, My plan was to do the family reunion in 2020, but COVID happened. So I had to, refund some money to you guys and cancel the venues because a lot of things were just being canceled at the time. But now it's 2024 and hopefully we can get it cracking next year, 2024, and have a good reunion in Monroe, Louisiana. So I'm working with the family to plan that and make sure it goes off without a hitch. So you can see Ancestry is pretty cool. You can work on your family tree, and they have DNA matches as well. So I like the DNA matches because anybody can submit their DNA. This is my mom, Audra, and I can look at the shared matches between me and Audra and see all the people that we have in common that we're related to. So these are all people that have submitted DNA. I got a kit for Uncle Sam, and he submitted his DNA. He's in Texas. And when my mom was down there helping take care of him. And I can look at all the shared matches between me and Uncle Sam, and these are all the Sewells and Williams that have submitted DNA and are, DNA related to me, to us. A lot of these people I've talked to and reached out to, sometimes they don't know how we're related. We're still trying to figure out exactly how we're related. But a lot of times we can figure out how we're related. Like I talked to Desmond Hart. He's related on the Sewell side. He's my great-grandfather's brother's line. And I found some Williams as well. Scroll all the way up. I was talking to, like the Jazon 23, that's Uncle Sam's grandson. Jennifer Cook is Uncle Frank's granddaughter. Patricia Moorhead is Cornelius's granddaughter. And Joanne Atkins is on the Williams line. She's Willie Mae's brothers, one of Willie Mae's brothers' line, Jerry Williams. She's on that line. And Anthony Green is Rosalie's grandson. Tatum Gilbert is Aunt Jack's great-granddaughter, if I'm not mistaken. Ronald Coleman is on the Sewell line. He's, I want to say Aunt Marguerite's grandson, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Yeah, we have, okay. Yeah. So we have a common ancestor. Oh, I gotta try again. Yeah. Marguerite's line. So it's pretty cool when you see the features. You can see that me and Ronald Coleman, we share a great grandfather. So it's pretty cool when you're looking at the DNA matches. I want to bring some DNA kits to the family reunion and see if you guys will be willing to submit, DNA into the system so we can keep getting more matches and more hits. Because I'm still looking for family, always, and trying to fill out the tree as best I can. My mom is Audra Sewell, and her mom was Barbara Ann Sewell. It's a picture of my grandmother, Barbara Ann Sewell. Her and my mama look just alike. Barbara Ann's so pretty. I wish I would have been able to meet her. but she passed away when my mom and uncle were young. Barbara Ann's parents were Robert and Willie Mae Sewell. And if you notice, you'll see the last name Sewell is spelled different ways. And just from my research and talking to different family members, even on different people's like census records and death certificates and birth certificates, the name is constantly being spelled differently. When I was talking to Uncle Sam, Uncle Frank, Aunt Joyce, Aunt Rosalie, Uncle John, Uncle Eugene, you know, basically the consensus was that back then, you know, when white people asked you your name, they just would spell it any way that they wanted to spell it and just put it down on a document. And that, you know, black people just didn't go through the effort of correcting them. So you'll see a lot of different Sewell variations, but it's all us in that Monroe, Louisiana, Pine Bluff, Arkansas area. That's all us. So Barbara Ann's parents were Robert and Willie Mae, and Barbara Ann had brothers and sisters. Uncle Frank and Aunt Joyce are still alive. I love talking to them. Aunt Estelle and Victoria and Marguerite. Marguerite was that Ron Coleman's line. That's his grandmother. They've passed away. Estelle, Victoria, and Marguerite are actually from a previous marriage that Robert Sr. had, his first marriage, those 3 kids. So he came into the marriage with Willie Mae with 3 daughters already. And Willie Mae came into the marriage with 2 children of her own, Uncle Lincoln, or Uncle Buddy is what they call him, to her Buddy McCarter, Lincoln McCarter. And Aunt Rosalie, she's still alive in Monroe. I love talking to Aunt Rosalie, she's such a sweetheart. So that's where that McCarter last name comes from. On the banners, you always see Sewell Williams McCarter. And it's funny, even with the McCarter, with different banners, you'll see it spelled over the years differently. And I talked to Aunt Rosalie, I said, how do you spell your last name? And she said, McCarter with an E-R. And she said, that's the way it's on my documents and my information. She just said, I don't know why. Over the different years, the reunion spelled it differently, but that's what that McCarter is from. Aunt Rosalie and Uncle Lincoln. So Sewell Williams McCarter. Sewell is from Robert Sewell Sr., Willie Mae Williams, and Rosalie and Lincoln McCarter. Then Aunt Cornelius. I remember her as a kid. I feel like I went down there, and she had some good food. That's what I remember, eating some good food, being down there with Auntie. Robert Jr., Uncle Jr. is what a lot of people call him. He raised my mom and Chris when Barbara Ann died. That's a picture of Uncle Jr. and my mom. So I grew up calling him Grandpa, and I called his wife Grandma. And I didn't find out until I was a little bit older that they really weren't even my grandparents. They were my granduncles, my great uncle and auntie, that my biological grandmother had died, and he raised her children. So we're going back to Barbara Ann's siblings. Uncle Sam is still alive in Texas. I love talking to Uncle Sam. He's funny. Mary, I talked to her children and grandchildren just the other day. Had a great conversation. Uncle John, love talking to Uncle John. He's always a laugh. We always be laughing. And Aunt Millie, I've never met. Aunt Jackie, I remember. She just passed away in 2018. I remember Aunt Jackie. And Uncle Eugene. Uncle Eugene is crazy. I love talking to Uncle Eugene. He's funny. And Barbara Ann had 2 children, my Uncle Chris and my mom. And it's interesting, you know, down south, they name a lot of their children after their brothers and sisters. So a lot of these names you'll see repeat and repeat. When you're looking at the different census records and stuff, you'll see these names repeat. And that's just always interesting to me. I was talking to my wife about naming one of our children after my brother or sisters. But I guess, that's not a thing that we kind of do anymore. But I would love to keep that tradition alive. When you go up to Barbara Ann's mother, my grandmother's mother, my great-grandmother was Willie Mae Williams. We actually have a Willie Mae Williams who's named after our great-grandmother, Willie Mae. I think that's Linda Badger's daughter is Willie Mae Williams. And I have her parents as Lewis and Ella Williams. Ella Woods and Lewis Williams. Talking to my grand uncles and aunties, they said that everybody called Lewis W. He was known as W. And Ella Woods. And Willie Mae, she had siblings as well. She had brothers. She was the only girl. It was Sam, Gus, and Jerry. And Sam, he had children. He had a son named Henry Williams. And I think Henry had a son named Henry Williams as well. So if you know of any other Williams out there that I haven't found of, this is not a comprehensive tree or complete tree by any means. It's a constant project that I'm working on. So if you know of any other Williams, send them my way, send them our way, invite them to the group, invite them to the reunion. I'm looking for more Williams. Like when I'm talking to my grand uncles and aunties, they say that Uncle Gus, they don't remember Uncle Gus having a wife or children. But maybe he did. I don't know. You never know with the guys what children they may or may not have. But I'm looking for any Williams. And Jerry, I've actually met some of the Williams. Or not met physically, but talked to him through Ancestry. Been able to meet some of Jerry's children and grandchildren, great-grandchildren. He had a son named Granford Jerry Williams. And when I first showed this picture to Aunt Joyce, she said that looked just like my uncle, Jerry. She said, that's him. But that's actually a picture of Jerry's son, Granford, and his wife. And then Granford's son is Joe Williams. And then I've spoke to Joe's daughter as well. He has two daughters that I've spoken to on Facebook, Joanne, and I can't remember the other sister name, but those are some of the Williams I've been talking to. I'm open to meeting more Williams. But like I said, Willie Mae, she had two husbands. She was married to Cody McCarter. That's Lincoln's and Rosalie's father. And then she married Robert Sewell, and that's where she had the rest of her children with Robert Sewell. And I think I have a census record for Willie Mae, yeah, where you can see on the record her in the house with her husband and children from 1940. So with her in the house, Robert, Rosalie, Uncle Cornelius, Robert Jr., Uncle Sam, Mary, and John Henry were all in the house according to this particular census record. And you can click it and view it, and you see it highlighted here, and you'll see the different spelling of the last name. So to me, that looked like Suells, but on here they got it Snells. So it's it's hard with the cursive writing to see exactly how they spelt it. Is that a U or an N or a W? But like they said, that I guess basically white people just would spell it however way they wanted to spell it. But you see on the record, Robert Sewell, the head of the house, his wife, and daughters, and sons, their ages, Louisiana, the type of house they had, whether they could read or write, type of job. It looked like he was a farm laborer at 48 years old. So it's just cool. That's why I like Ancestry, because they have all the different records and stuff you can look up and see. Like I said, when you go up her tree, Willie Mays, you see her father was Lewis, or W, everybody called him W, and Ella Woods. And I've talked to some Woods as well. We got some Woods in our family from that Williams line, from Ella Woods. So I've talked to some Woods too, and I want to invite them to the reunion as well. So our tree is really big. I haven't been able to go up the tree any further because, slavery ended around the 1850s. So, it's hard getting records before then. So if you can, get back to 1850, I always say that that's a good job, for black people, because it's hard to go beyond that. It's not impossible, but just hard to go beyond that. So I'm happy with the progress I've made on the tree with Willie Mae so far. Robert Sewell, my great-grandfather, Barbara Ann's father. And I got this picture from the family reunion shirt. It's a picture of Robert and Willie Mae on the shirt. And his father was Harry, and his mother was Millie Sewell. And I actually have a census record where he is a child in the house at the 1880 census record. He's a child in the house with his brothers and sisters. So his parents are Harry and Millie in the house. And he has a sister named Mary and two brothers, Harry and John. It's 1880 census record, and we can view it. And you kind of zoom in. Their name is at the bottom. And you kind of can see Millie. And look how they spell the last name, Sowers. So you're almost like they sounding it out, Sewells, or, Sewells. But that's them, Harry and Millie. And he was a farmer and she was a housekeeper. And on the next page, you see great-grandfather Robert as a little boy, little baby, 1.5 years old, or half a year old, I guess. I don't know how you would say that. But him in the house with his brothers and sister. He had one sister, Mary. So, like I said, his siblings were Henry, Mary, Harry, and John. Now, I don't know if I got any information about Henry Sewell. If any, like I said, if anybody know any information, or if y'all see me saying anything wrong about the tree, correct me. I want to be corrected. I want to make sure I'm accurate. I haven't found too much about Henry Sewell and his line, but I know Mary Sewell, her line are the Charlestons. Now, I've spoken to some of them on Ancestry. Their line goes down to Charleston. So she has a big tree, just herself. And they may be doing their own reunion. You know what I'm saying? You never know what they got going on. So if y'all know any Charlestons from Mary Sewell's line, invite them to the reunion, or have them reach out. I would love to talk to them. I've talked to some of them on Ancestry and Facebook, but I would love to talk to more. And then Harry Sewell, he has his own line as well. So that's like some of the new members you might see in the group. April McKee and Lawrence, who just got added to the group. Their line comes from Harry Sewell. And you see the names repeat, so Harry he named his children after his brothers, Robert and Henry. So you'll see these names repeat over and over. And even as you go down the line, you'll see the names repeat again. So any pictures, any documentation, I would love to see. And then John Sewell has his own line as well. This is my great-grandfather's brother. He has his own line as well. And you see the names repeat again, naming their children after their brothers and sisters. And like Auntie Gurley, I've talked to on the phone. She said she was going to help out with the t-shirts for the reunion. I know that this is her line. And I'm sure there's other people on this line. There was another person I was talking to as well. I've been talking to so many people. Well, I know. I got it written down on the big tree. I'm sorry, I can't remember everybody's name off the top of my head, but I got it. I know I put it down in the big tree. So this is Robert's line. And like I said, he had children that came into his marriage with Willie Mae. And then he had another wife, Cornelia, that he had no children with. And my mom was talking to Uncle Sam in Texas. She was taking notes. Let me see if I can pull up those notes. Yeah, like I said, my mom was taking notes from Uncle Sam, and he had a wife, Cornelia, that passed away. And then I think he named Aunt T, Cornelius, after his wife, Cornelia. But he had Aunt T with Willie Mae, his third wife. That's interesting. Also with Willie Mae, there was a story about Willie Mae shooting a KKK member or a sheriff to protect her brother Gus. And that was part of the reason why she had to run away from Quitman, Louisiana. But, that's just a story we got from Uncle Sam. Talking to everybody that's still alive, you hear different stories and little bits and pieces of the story, and they all kind of come together. But these are the notes that my mom took from that story. Yeah, Gus could make shoes. I just was talking to Uncle Sam. He said Gus was really good at making shoes. And then see, right here is Charles, is Gus's grandson. So I don't know. But then I've also heard that Gus didn't have any wife or children either. I haven't been able to find them. So if you know any Williams, Gus Williams, Charles Williams, let me know. But these are just different notes I've been taking. So basically I'm just interviewing family members and taking notes and putting it all together. So when you go back out to the tree, you can go up Robert's line. Like I said, I got Harry and Millie as his parents, and I haven't been able to find anything above that. I think I talked to Uncle John. He said that there was a plantation in Star City, Arkansas, that they came from. And that southern Arkansas, Louisiana border seemed like it was pretty fluid. Like people would kind of go back and forth all the time. But I haven't been able to confirm that 100%. But that's, these are just stories I'm getting, bits and pieces from my grand uncles and aunties. Harry Sewell, he had a brother named Mark. And when you go down Mark's line, so I don't know who Harry and March's father was. That's why I got it unknown. I don't know the name of the father. But when you go down March's line, you get to Eugene Sewell Sr. And Eugene Sewell had a wife, Dora Jackson Sewell, and they had a lot of children. And I was just talking to a young lady who said her grandfather was Alvin Sewell, and her mother was his daughter. And she sent me those pictures. And Al Sewell and his family come from this line as well. So I think Al comes from Eugene Jr. Yeah. So we have a really big tree when you think about it. And we have a lot of family. And this is just family that I found so far. Like, I couldn't even screenshot the whole tree if I wanted to. You know, when you think about how big and long it is. And there are still people, like I said, on this DNA matches, people who have submitted DNA that we still can't figure out how we related to each other. We know we are related to each other because the DNA don't lie. So the DNA tell you that we related, like the Briscoes. There's a Briscoe Sewell connection that I can't figure out. Briscoe, Miles. So I guess if anybody know anything about Briscoe or Miles, those last names, there's a Sewell connection that I haven't been able to figure out. But we know we're related. I've talked to a few Briscoes, Combs. I've talked to a few Combs. We know we're related through the DNA, but just can't figure out exactly how. Hunter, MacArthur Hunter, yeah, I've talked to him. So there's a lot of connections that I'm still trying to figure out, and I'm still working on this family tree. But yeah, I just thought I could share it real quick. You know, any pictures you have, any dates, certificates, anything you want me to add to the tree. I'm sure I probably missed people. I've missed kids, grandkids, great-grandkids. I'm sure it's not a comprehensive tree at all, but let me know, because I want to, be able to present it and share it at the reunion next year. Is my goal, as best I can, and as complete as I can. But I just challenge everybody to, love on each other, reach out to each other, talk to somebody that you normally wouldn't talk to a cousin, a second cousin, third cousin, call your grandparents, call your great-grandparents, call your grand-aunties and grand-uncles, and just ask questions. Find out how we related to each other. Help me fill out this tree. Let's all work together and be a family and have a great reunion. God bless everybody. Have a good day.